Did you ask yourself this question when you were playing with your lists in the previous video? Did you ask yourself, could I have a negative index reference? And what would I use that for? Well, let's go ahead and answer that question in this video. Yes, we can have negative indices. I don't think this would show up in your exam, but you never know. And we certainly want to be aware of this in case we were to see it in code. You would want an explanation for this. So here we are in the idle shell, and let me just go ahead and create a quick list for us for demonstration purposes. So how about we do this, and then in our list we will have that, and then in our list we will have the other thing. So this, that, and the other thing is inside of our list. And let me use consistency there to distinguish our strings. And we're going to just close that up with the square bracket. So here we have our list. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use a negative reference for an index. And I'm going to do one of the ones that is fairly popular. It is -1, because -1 does a very specific, neat thing for us. So I'm going to print my list -1 for the index reference. What does this do? Well, the -1 will go to your list and it will print the last thing in your list. Isn't that great? We don't even have to know how long the list is. Yeah, we don't have to know list length at all. We just say my list -1, and we will see that it gives us the last object in the list. By the way, when you're testing a feature like this, I now want to see what -2 would do. So if I do a Control P on the keyboard, I need to do a, let's see, Alt P in Windows. Nope, that's not it. How about Command P? That's the one. Yeah, it gets confusing moving back and forth between Linux, Mac, and Windows like I do. But anyways, we just solved it. It's Command and then the letter P. And notice what that's doing for us. Underneath the shell menu, notice previous history is Alt P, and that's enabling us to bring up quickly that previous command. This can really help us when we're testing a feature. All right, so now we're going to try -2, and sure enough, it's going to return that. So notice we're just cycling backwards at this point through the index of the list. Let me do another recall of that command. Let's just confirm with the -3. And if you're anxious to see an error message, yeah, we could cause that. Notice if we ever go out of range with our index, we will be called out for that. And notice the index error is quite specific to let us know that we're out of range. So negative indexes, sure, they're possible. They enable us to walk backwards through our list. And remember, kind of a clever one is the -1 to always be able to get that last element that might exist in a list. Thank you so much for watching.